regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
This is the Slate, presented by VIP Play.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do.
This is like the luck of the Irish, only I'm not Irish.
Changing 500. I think I want my money back.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar.
Welcome in. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play with Max Pennell, Tyler Barbaras, and Jeremy Ensley. I'm William Pattison. We appreciate you listening along with us on this fine Tuesday, this Tyler Tuesday from Knoxville, Tennessee. Plenty to cover over the next hour, including our best bets at the end of the show. I actually misspoke. Max is not with us tonight, but he does have some best bets, and I will relay those to you a little bit later on in our best bet segment, as we always do as we wrap things up here on the Slate. Before that, we'll talk about Boo Carter's impact on Tennessee spreads, as VIP Play has every spread for every game on Tennessee's regular season schedule, and you can do that exclusively on the VIP Play app. We'll talk about how many points is Boo Carter worth on a spread, and is he worth enough to maybe teeter a win from a loss? So we'll dive into that. We'll also have picks from Tyler and Max in the MLB on tonight's slate. But we'll begin today with our About Last Night, our recap from last night's action. Before we do that, let's welcome in the rest of the crew on this Tyler Tuesday. What's up, Tyler?
Not much. Feeling good. Happy to be here. Tyler Tuesday, the first one of the week. So,
well, the only one of the week, yes.
I thought you gave me Thursday as well.
Well, you said the first Tyler Tuesday of the week. There's only one Tuesday, so yes.
The first Tyler day of the week.
There you go. That's the way
as
to
I should
rephrase
rather
it.
say. But yeah, feeling good. Had an okay day yesterday. Went 1-2. Matthew Boyd completely stunk it up for the Cubs yesterday, which kind of sucked a little bit. But we'll bounce back today. Get to talk about some sports. Got some nice dinner planned tonight. I'll probably go get some Moe's. So
that's a nice dinner?
Yeah,
Moe's?
to me it is. Yeah, I like Moe's.
I'm not a Moe's fan.
I'm a big Moe's sauce guy. I think it's like the best sauce, like better than like Chick-fil-A sauce, better than whatever sauce you like. I think Moe's sauce takes the cake.
Interesting. I've never heard anyone rave about Moe's sauce.
You know, I've also just gotten tired of eating Chipotle. So
Chipotle is superior.
I agree. But when you eat it like 3-4 days a week, I used to.
I eat it probably more than that.
All right. Well, maybe you'll get tired of it one day. I'll go back to Chipotle like next week. But this week I'm on Moe's.
Moe's is dog food, in my opinion.
What do you get?
I don't go. It's dog food.
All right. Well,
I like to rain on your parade. I do agree with you about Chipotle, though. I think Chipotle is good.
Yeah, I think Moe's is good. So
okay. All right.
I think Chipotle is good as well.
Beg to differ.
But yeah, excited for Moe's tonight.
Swing it over to Jeremy. Jeremy, are you a Moe's fan, and how are you on this Tuesday?
No, I think the last time I was at Moe's, high school maybe for me. My goodness, it's been a good grip. But oh man, doing good on this Tuesday. I feel good. I'm starting to get myself back in the gym. Like, got to get toned back up and stuff. So, like, I'm good. I may be quiet this first half, but I'm ready to get talking second half of the program. So nice to be on the mic with y'all boys and looking forward to a good day.
Good deal. Happy to have you on. All right, so let's dive into about last night, recapping last night's action in the MLB. And we'll begin with Tyler's ticket recap. Tyler, you said you went 1-2, but how do those plays turn out? Give us a little bit more detail on those plays.
Yeah, so I'll start off with my bet that did hit, and that was Spencer Strider. He pitched a pretty good game. I think he went 5 innings, 2 earned runs. I mean, it's what Max and I expected from him. Just limit the damage, and that's exactly what he did. Strider now putting, back-to-back pretty good starts, slowly getting back to that, true ace caliber form that a lot of us MLB fans know Spencer Strider for being, that top of the rotation guy. Definitely something to monitor here down the, back end of the MLB season, see how Strider pitches, see if there's value there going forward. But Strider covered that. Pretty confident about that, or very happy about that. And then I went Cubs Brewers Nerfy. Matthew Boyd gave up 3 runs in the first inning against the Milwaukee Brewers. And even if he gave up 1 run, I'm like, all right, like I don't hit the Nerfy, but just cruise through the next couple.
Sure.
But he did not limit the damage. And when you're betting on over and unders in baseball, especially with unders, you need a guy that, when you have runners on first and third with 1 out, you give up a sac fly and then you get a ground ball, right? But Boyd yesterday, he was in a lot of those scenarios where he would just walk another batter or give up a bloop single. And those really kill these bets because like solo home runs are fine, right? Like one run in an inning is okay. You can live with that, especially with how good Boyd has been this year. But when you give up 3 in the first inning, it didn't just kill my Nerfy. It made it really, really hard for that first 5 under 4.5 to hit. And then I think the Cubs answered in the second inning, putting up, I think, a 2 or 3 spot of their own. So just a really frustrating bet to lose because I was really confident in, the analytics of it and just the approach that he had for it, looking at the lines and all that stuff. But that's how baseball is, man. It's so unpredictable. Like there are teams that have the worst offense in baseball and they score 9 runs in the first 5 innings. Like that's just how baseball is. It's all analytical and statistically driven that, as much as you think you have an edge on something, you don't. So pretty upset about that, but I do only have 1 play today. So hopefully I can get back in the win column and get to even on the week so far.
Well, yesterday, earlier today, I should say, and Max is not with us tonight, but we will talk about his power rankings and represent him, even though he's not able to sit here in the desk today. Max gave his power rankings for the MLB earlier today, and we talked about these about 2 or 3 weeks ago when he did his last batch of power rankings. But I'll read this off, and then Tyler, being our MLB guy, I'll ask you a couple of questions about it. But Max had the Mets at number 1, followed by the Cubs, Brewers, Phillies, Dodgers, Blue Jays, Tigers, Astros, Mariners, Red Sox, Padres, Yankees, Rangers, Reds, Guardians. And that is 1 through 15. Right now, when you look at a couple of these teams' upcoming matchups, which team is worth eyeing in these matchups in terms of maybe some money line value, some spread value, maybe some pitching matchups? Which teams are you eyeing right now when you look at these teams and maybe pick out a couple in particular?
Yeah, for me, it's probably got to be the Phillies because they've been oddly quiet so far at the deadline. However, they're in every major discussion to acquire a pitcher or an outfielder. Luis Robert has been thrown around. Stephen Kwan has been thrown around, trying to get some outfield help there. And if you get a guy like that, you slot him into Kwan would probably be a new leadoff hitter, maybe in the 2-hole. Robert can be a guy that can hit in the 5-6 hole. That immediately improves your offense. And the Phillies, they are currently in a series right now against the White Sox, which they actually lost yesterday again. So I'm expecting them to bounce back tonight. The value isn't there for me to bet on them, but I fully expect them to bounce back. And then they have a pretty tough, like, 4-series stretch. You have Detroit at home, who has been slumping recently. I think you could get a lot of really, really good value there, especially when Tarek Skubal pitches in game 1, because they have Christopher Sanchez pitching on the other end, who has been honestly at the same level that Skubal has been on this season. And then you have Zach Wheeler against Jack Flaherty. Then you have Christopher Sanchez against a pitcher that I'm not very familiar with for the Tigers. Those, I see 2 games that they can win there, where their money line is probably going to be a little bit lower, excuse me, it's going to be a little bit lower towards the plus money value. Then you also have a series against Baltimore at home, where you're not pitching your best guys. And, you know, as an Orioles fan, they've scored 50 runs in their last 4 games. They're swinging a really, really hot bat right now. But this is a team that, you know, I just think is going to get better at the deadline. There's going to be a lot of value with, you know, even a future for them to win, because I think their rotation is so good when healthy. If they add one of those elite bats into their lineup, I think they're going to be really scary. And the Houston Astros as well, I really want to see them add like a left-handed batter, like a Steven Kwan, like a Jarren Duran, like a Ryan O'Hearn. A lot of guys there that they need help hitting righties. And my pick tonight is against the Astros, because they can't hit, you know, right-handed pitching as well as left-handed pitching, because their lineup is all skewed with righties. But the Astros, Phillies, 2 of, you know, the best organizations in baseball, fully expect them to go out, be really aggressive over the next 48 hours as the trade deadline, you know, wraps up in, like around 48 hours. I think the deadline is at 6 p.m. on Thursday. So we got about 2 days left exactly. It'll be really interesting to see what these buying and contending teams do. But right now, I feel like everyone has an idea of who's going to be buying, who's going to be selling. And I don't think anything's going to change here over the course of the next 24 hours or 48.
And who are those teams that you believe will be buyers and will be sellers?
Yeah. For those, I'm not sure if you looked at Max's power rankings, but it's all the teams that are kind of on that list, besides a couple down low. I mean, Mets are buyers, Cubs are buyers, Brewers certainly buyers, Phillies buyers, Dodgers, even if they were 10 games under 500, the Dodgers are still going to be buyers at the deadline. The Blue Jays, they just got a really good reliever from the Orioles about like 45 minutes ago. They're looking for bullpen help. They're buyers. The Tigers are buyers. Astros are buyers. The Mariners, on Thursday, I believe, last Thursday, they went out and they got Josh Naylor, guy who hit damn near 40 home runs last year and had 110 RBIs. They're buyers. The Red Sox are buyers. Then it gets to the bottom of the list. Yankees are obviously buyers too, but on Max's power rankings, they've fallen off a little bit recently. Yankees are going to be buyers. But you have the Padres, you have the Rangers, the Reds, and the Guardians. The Padres, they can do a little bit of both. They can buy and they can sell, because right now, where they are in the wild card spot, I believe they still occupy that final wild card spot. And they also have a lot of pitchers that are on expiring deals. Dylan Cease, Michael King. Cease has been floated around in trade rumors for the past 2 years, even back when he was on the White Sox. And as soon as he got acquired by the Padres, he was still swirling in those trade rumors. The Padres could certainly sell one of their better arms to get some help for their batting order. A guy like Marcell Ozuna could work, but they would have to do it to a buying team as well. The Red Sox make the most sense, in my opinion, because you could give them a guy like Dylan Cease, who, can be your number 2 starter, who has postseason experience. And then you could throw in another prospect in your top 10. Then in that return, you can maybe get Jarren Duran, and that can be your outfield solution, where now you have Tatis, Jackson Merrill, and now Jarren Duran. So the Padres are certainly one of those teams that are going to do a little bit of both, in my opinion. The Guardians are my biggest wild card, as they're 15th on Max's power ranking list. They've been playing better recently, but they are on a 2-game losing streak. I think they won 5 or 6 in a row last week, and then they've lost their last 2. They climbed up to 500, and now they're 2 games below 500, 4 games out. And with all the stuff that's going on with Emmanuel Clase, for gambling and one of their other pitchers gambling, they might just be like, all right, we need a full reset here. We'll keep our core, but if there's a guy that we think is expendable with how good our farm system is, then let's go out and just trade one of those players and see if we can, still make a push here, try and sneak in, but just look better for 2026. And I think that's what the Guardians are probably going to do. But if I was them, I wouldn't want to trade Stephen Kwan because of how good he is, but you never know. The trade deadline is so hectic, so crazy. And over the next 24, 48 hours, there are probably going to be trades like every hour, multiple trades every hour. And that's why I love the MLB, because you never know what's going to happen. So that's probably my recap there on the MLB. It'll be really interesting to see what unfolds over the next couple of days. But Max's power rankings, I would say they're fairly ranked.
And when you look at some of these teams on this ranking, and also, some of those teams you're talking about could be buyers or sellers at the deadline, is there any value on futures, courtesy of VIP play, with any of these teams and possibly winning the conference, winning, the whole thing? Do you find any value with any of these groups?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the odds pulled up right now because I'm just looking at these top teams on my computer here, but the Mariners, I mean, they're a team that is probably going to be a wild card team, and you're going to have to go through a team like the Blue Jays, the Tigers. You're probably going to have to face the Yankees at some point, because I think the Yankees, they're still one of the most talented teams in baseball, but their pitching is so good on paper. And this year it hasn't fully panned out. They had a lot of injuries, but they've had a guy in Brian Wu emerge as one of the better pitchers in the AL. George Kirby has been one of the better pitchers in the AL, but he's having a down year. I think he has slowly been going back to his, all-star caliber form. Logan Gilbert, another really good pitcher. Luis Castillo, I believe he's on the injured list. When he comes back, those are 4 all-star caliber pitchers. You have a really good bullpen with your closer being Andres Munoz. You have a lot of really interesting arms there. Now you add in Josh Naylor, and I don't think they're done either. I mean, they could still go out and get another outfield bat. And now, when you add up, that top of the order, and I tweeted this out a couple days ago on my own podcast Twitter, I was like, this top 6 for the Mariners lineup, you add one player, but it looks so much better now, and that player being Josh Naylor. I think there's a lot of value there because of how important pitching is in October. Like, there are so many teams every year that win 90 games, 95 games, 100 games, and that was my Orioles 2 years ago, but they had no pitching, and they ended up getting swept in the second round against the Rangers, who ended up winning it all because the Rangers had pitching and they had hitting and they had a good bullpen. The Mariners, they have all of that. It just, for me, it's a matter of if they can bring it all together and play as one unit rather than playing as 3 different units. If they play as one unit, I think this can be a really, really scary team. Now, do I think they're going to, win the AL West? Probably not, but they are only 3 games out right now, so they certainly could. They're 5-5 in their last 10. If they get hot over the next couple of games, I could see a lot of value there with the Mariners. Another team, too, the Tigers, been saying it all year. They went out, they acquired Chris Paddock from the Twins. This is a pitcher that, has been, around 4 ERA guy, and he'll help your bullpen, but I still think if the Tigers wanted to, they could go out and get a really good bat, Marcell Ozuna, Ryan O'Hearn, someone of that caliber who can be a really, really good DH for you. You bring that in, and now your offense goes from, a top 10 to maybe like a top 8. And I think that goes a long way, especially when you have Tarek Skubal, who, anytime he pitches, especially in the postseason, it's like it's an automatic win. So those are my 2 teams, both in the AL. The NL, I'm not really sure because all these teams are buying all the top teams. So I won't fully know until their rosters fully constructed in 2 days. But lots of value all up and down the board here. Can't wait for October baseball, William.
The Tigers plus 900, the 4th best odds on VIP play. And then you have the Mariners, another team that Tyler mentioned, at plus 2,500. And both of those are to win the World Series in 2025. When we come back, we'll have some picks for tonight's slate in the MLB, as well as diving into Tennessee football's betting analysis with Boo Carter now officially back with the team. What does his impact mean in terms of the spreads for the Volunteers? We'll break that down when we return right here on the Slate, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
Yo, 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 what is up with it, homies? Talk Sports, that's the show you want. It's the longest running sports radio morning show in town. You want your radio shows to be fun, and that's what Talk Sports is. Fun, fun, fun. No weirdo callers. I like Tennessee, gonna go 6-6 this year. No nerdy guests. Well, their receiver depth is a little bit thin. Just two of the most entertaining guys in town, and Bubba giving you what you need. Tune in 7 to 10 a.m. every weekday here on Fan Run Radio.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the Volunteer State. Smoked daily by Pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookies.
VIP play. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this Tyler Tuesday from Knoxville, Tennessee. Whether it be on the free Fan Run Radio app, on the local dial 105.7 FM or 1340 AM, or on the X/YouTube live stream. However you're listening or watching, we do appreciate your time. Let's swing it over to Tyler with tonight's slate in the MLB presented by VIP Play. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. When you make your first bet of $5 or more, you'll get $100 instantly in bonus bets by using the code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps to claim those bonus bets. And new and more convenient deposit and withdrawal methods are coming soon, so the next VIP Play app update will continue to upgrade the betting experience on the app. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. Take it away, Tyler.
All right, 1-2 day yesterday, like I previously stated. Not terrible, looking for better. I got one play here. I'm just not trying to force anything. Haven't done as much research today, just because I don't love the slate, but I did find one play that I really, really liked. That being Mike Soroka over 16 8.5 pitcher outs at -130. Right-handed starter for the Washington Nationals. Really, and they're facing the Houston Astros, who have been really slumping offensively as of late. They have a right-hand heavy lineup today with about 7 bats, I think, that are righties, and the 2 lefties in their lineup aren't anything too special. Soroka has much better numbers against righties this year, as they're batting only 180 against him. Not only that, but Soroka's walk rate gets nearly cut in half when he faces righties. It goes from 9.2 when he's facing lefties to 5.4% when he's facing righties. Since the All-Star break, the Astros have the 3rd lowest WRC plus and OPS against right-handed pitchers. We've seen 11 out of the last 12 righties record an out in the 6th inning against the Astros. Top of that, the Astros, one of the more aggressive teams at the plate. They speed up at-bats. They like to attack you early. I think that if Soroka, just doesn't walk anyone, doesn't give off any free batters, this is a guy that, can be at the 100 pitch mark around the 7th inning. And if he does that, I think this can be a very, very sweat-free bet. Really like the value here at -130. Surprised that it isn't higher, considering that his under 2.5 earned runs, I think, is at -145-ish. So I'm sticking with the outs here instead. I like the fact that the Astros like to attack early. And the fact that this isn't an earned run bet just gives me hope that even if, he does give up a 3-run homer, he'll still have a good enough pitch count to where he can, grind out 5 1/3 innings pitched. So really like the odds here. Really like the play. It's my only play. Just trying to be a little bit more conservative today. Trying to get back to even on 2-2 on the day.
Just real quick, give it one more time.
Mike Soroka over 16.5 pitcher outs at -130. Right-handed pitcher for the Washington Nationals. They're facing the Houston Astros.
All right, so that is your pick tonight. Max isn't here, but I will give his picks for him. He's got Royals money line, Arizona and Detroit over 8.5, and Angels first 5 -105. Tyler, you hear those 3 bets. What do you make of those?
Yeah, I don't mind the Royals bet. They're a team that needs a win really bad. The Braves don't as badly as they're 45-60. The Royals only 3 games under 500. I like they opened up to the Braves, I think, at -150 on the money line. I'm looking here on ESPN. That also could be the Royals, but the Royals are now -125. Seth Lugo has arguably been one of the better pitchers in baseball over the past 2 seasons. He has a 2.95 ERA, 7-5 record in 113 innings pitched. Just got a really nice, juicy 2-year contract extension as well a couple days ago. So the Royals believe in this guy. He believes in himself because he's pitching pretty damn good, and Max does too, going up against Eric Fetty, who just got DFA'd. For those who don't know what DFA'd means, he's designated for assignment. It's essentially like you got cut in the NFL, and you don't want that. So Eric Fetty, 5.22 ERA this year for the Cardinals, isn't having a good year. I think, the likes of Salvador Perez, Bobby Witt, Michael Garcia, they can get to Fetty early, and Seth Lugo just being as good as he has been this season, he will dominate this game. I like the odds, too, at -125. Probably my favorite play out of Max's today.
Okay, and any analysis on any of the others?
You said one of them was A's, right?
You've got Angels first 5,
Angels, that's right,
-0.5. So that, again, kind of like a first half bet.
Yeah.
In the NBA or the NFL, first 5 -0.5.
The Angels are a really interesting team when you're trying to analyze them, because they're overperforming this year. Like, no one really expected them to be in this wild card race, but they are. Yusei Kikuchi has probably been their best starting pitcher. They signed him in the offseason. He has a 3.23 ERA, but he does seem to, give up a lot of hits and walks, as he has a 1.4 whip, which isn't great. However, look at the pitcher for the Rangers, that being Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin had one of the worst 3-year stretches that a starting pitcher has ever had, from like 2021 to 2024. He was terrible for the Nationals. Comes to Texas, kind of vitalizes his career. But he's a guy that, doesn't give you a lot of length, but he's been effective this year. In order for the Angels to be winning after the first 5, I think they're going to have to hit a home run or 2, because Corbin, he's done a pretty good job this year of not really giving up the long ball. Only 2 home runs in his last 5. He's not walking a lot of guys, isn't giving up a whole lot of hits in his last 3 starts. I'm looking here at a guy like Mike Trout to go yard, Zach Neto to go yard early within the first 3 innings, bust this game open, give you a, commanding 2-0 lead early. And then from there, you just hope that Yusei Kikuchi can, mow down this Rangers lineup, who are missing a pretty good amount of guys. I mean, they don't have Jake Berger. They don't have Kyle Higashioka. I do think Corey Seager is back, but, he's better against right-handed hitters than right-handed pitchers than left-handed pitchers. So I didn't love it when he first looked at it, but, after talking to myself about it, I don't mind it. I just think that the Angels, for Max's bet to hit, they got to go yard at least once, because I think it is going to be pretty hard to, work Patrick Corbin just off base hits and walks and, put up a 3-run second or third inning, because he has been pretty good this year, but his track record does show that, he isn't a great pitcher, but you've seen a lot of pitchers get a change of scenery and completely revamp their game. Yusei Kikuchi doing that last year, going from Toronto to Houston at the deadline, and now he looks like a front of the rotation starter. So I like that bet a lot. And then the final one, William?
Yeah, it was Arizona and Detroit over 8.5.
Yeah, these are 2 teams that the Tigers, their offense has been a little bit slower as of recent. However, they have exploded over the past 2 games, 15 total runs in their last 2. And then Arizona, a team that has lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They only scored 1 run in a 3-game series against Pittsburgh. Then they only put up 1 run yesterday against Detroit. So this is a team that, as of late, hasn't been swinging the bat very well. However, the matchup against Casey Mize, I think, is quite intriguing, but no players besides James McCann, who is Arizona's catcher, no players in this Diamondbacks batting order have faced Casey Mize. And I think the advantage there, you don't know what this pitcher throws. You don't know what his velocity is. You obviously do, your research and you study on it, but until you're in that batter's box, it feels a lot different. So this is honestly the one bet that I'm not as high on. However, I do think that the Tigers offense can carry the weight here. If this is a game like 6-3, the over hits, but I'm kind of looking at this game being more of like a 3-1, 2-1, 3-2 final score. But both teams just have a lot of talent offensively. Wouldn't be shocked if this was a high-scoring game just because of, the star power in Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Geraldo Perdomo, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Gleyber Torres, just so many good bats in both of these teams' orders. But I am a little bit more in favor of this pitching matchup, especially the one that Casey Mize has, as this will be his first time, facing a majority of the Diamondbacks hitters. So that's where I stand with this one.
Okay, good stuff. Those are the best bets of the night. And now we'll switch over to Boo Carter and his impact on Tennessee spreads. We'll talk more about it on Overtime here in a little bit, but Boo Carter is staying in Knoxville, which is big news for the Volunteers after what has been a tumultuous last 2 to 3 weeks where there's plenty of stuff coming out. We don't know what's true, what's right. Is he staying? Is he leaving? Whatever it may be, Boo Carter will still be on the team in 2025. Now he's going to have to kind of wait things out for a little bit. Maybe might face a suspension for game 1 or game 2, but at least for the majority of the season, Boo Carter will be making plays for the Volunteers. And courtesy of VIP Play, you can bet on every single Tennessee football game. There's not another app out there that allows you to do that, and you can do it exclusively via the VIP Play app. Use the code FANRUN, that is FANRUN in all caps, to claim $100 in bonus bets and get in on the action. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. And yesterday we talked about these spreads for Tennessee. What stuck out to us the most? Which games we kind of had pinpointed? But how many points is Boo Carter worth on a spread? Because, you know, a lot of people might think, okay, well, they're just stacking up the teams, right? But like in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes is worth about 3.5 to 4 points if he is in or out of a game. If he's playing, that's a 3.5, 4 point boost. If he's not playing, that spread will drop 3.5, 4 points. Now, Boo Carter's not a quarterback, and he's arguably not even the best defensive player on the team, but his impact is beyond just what he does defensively. He's a really good special teams boost. He's going to be involved offensively in what is going to be a wide receiver room that is going to be kind of bare. So I imagine that Boo Carter is probably worth about 0.5 point to a point in terms of what he does on a night-in, night basis for the Volunteers. At the star position, you're kind of the rover. You're the guy in the middle of the field. You prevent all the big plays from happening in the passing game. You're kind of the last wave of defense, if you will. Safeties and stars, whatever it may be, you're kind of that last wave of defense. Now, in the run game, you're the guy that prevents those runs from, busting out and going 50 yards. So you're kind of the big play preventer. And that's why I believe that he's about, 0.5 point to a point's worth of weight, because that position is so important. Not even adding to what he does, special teams wise. Last year against Georgia, Boo Carter had the opportunity, if Jalen McMurray had a better block, to really swing that game in Tennessee's way, where you get a big time punt return touchdown. That would have been, that would have been 7 points right there. I'm not saying Boo Carter's worth 7 points on every given night, but what I'm trying to say here is just he is so impactful in all the things he does outside of just playing defense, and that position is so important. Jeremy, a guy that has coached before, how important is that star position? How many points do you think Boo Carter would be worth into a spread?
For me, I actually think of it probably as like a 2.5 point swing. Probably more of like, he can affect the game in in terms of a field goal. Now, him playing the star, I'm glad that you said that he plays the star, because I wasn't for sure which safety position he was actually playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's huge. I mean, you covered it all. I mean, he's responsible for making sure that you don't get beat deep, and he's also responsible for making sure that any runs don't go break and go the distance. Looking at his stats, he had 38 total tackles, 28 solo with only 1 interception and 0 passes defense. So that makes me kind of pause onto his style of play at that position. Is he obviously, with only just 1 interception on the season, is he a true ball hawk? Is he getting caught out of position? I'm not quite certain how they use him per se. I would have to definitely go and look at that. But for me, like I said, I think 2.5 is a good point for him, because like you also mentioned, with him now trying to insert himself into the offense, is he going to be one that can actually provide points, or is he just one that can just move the chains for the offense, get them into field goal position? Whereas for you're punting from your own 45 versus is taking a field goal from the opponent's 35. So in that retrospect, I give him a 2.5 point swing one way or the other. But for me, I need to probably look at more of his game film to actually see how his style of play translates to what they need, especially defensively, because for as much of a dynamic athlete as he is, to only have 1 interception on the year, that's kind of alarming.
But then again, he didn't really start playing. He only started the final 6-7 games of the season last year. So he kind of had to elevate himself to get to that role. He's a true freshman last year.
True. Okay. Well, Well, even past that, the 0 passes defense. That's still a 0. That's still kind of alarming to me as well. Like I said, I'm thinking of how is his tracking, because if you're playing that deep third, or if you're covering a half of the field, and if they actually see, if they have a formation or if they have a play that they think can go deep, why are you not in on more of those plays? That's what I would kind of like to see more of. But until I can see that, that's kind of the number that I'm stuck at for him.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a fair analysis. And I just, it's hard to really put a number on a star or a safety or something like that. But I just think this guy's really impactful and can do a lot of different things. There's another thing I want to note, though, and this is kind of keying on that Syracuse matchup where Boo Carter could possibly be suspended for that, might not play. And then there's also Jeremiah McCoy, one of the top cornerbacks in the country. Josh Heupel said no timetable today on whether he will be available or when he will be available. And I think that's a little concerning. Now, if you're both out Carter and McCoy, arguably your two best secondary pieces, does that change you guys' opinion about that 13.5 spread for Syracuse currently? Jeremy, begin with you.
It does for me, definitely. I mean, because with McCoy being out, I mean, he's possibly shutting down whoever Syracuse #1 receiver is. I mean, he's most likely completely out the game. So with that, whoever is going to be covering their #1, how are they going to do at possibly taking him out the game? I mean, because I think I've stated before, I think McCoy is good for limiting your star receiver to 5 catches, 60, 70 yards. Whereas now that star receiver, he could possibly go for 10 catches, 110 with a touchdown. So I believe with both of them being out, I mean, it should still be an easy win for UT, but I think that 13.5 now probably comes down to about 9.5.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I think there's a touchdown that can just be made cheaply with him being out.
Okay.
My thing with it is, like, technically, right? If Syracuse were to score on like a 50 or a 40-yard, touchdown down the sideline where Ricky Gibson, right? Just say he'll be stepping up that CB1 role. He gets burned, right? Like, I think it's hard to say that because Tennessee is just going to be like the better defense in that game. They're going to dominate the trenches more. Like, they're going to control that game regardless of if Jeremiah McCoy or Boo Carter aren't playing. But, I mean, if both of these guys aren't playing, I think every game spread is definitely impacted. But I wouldn't say it's a touchdown because unless you're going up against a team like Georgia or Alabama where they have legitimate, like, really, really good wide receiver ones and Zachariah Branch and Ryan Williams. Like, I think that's where it's a little bit different. But against a team like Syracuse, who, I don't think is a top 40 team in the nation, against a team like Mississippi State, Arkansas, I mean, these are games that, especially, most of them being at home, these are games that you should comfortably be able to win, even if you're without Jeremiah McCoy, which I assume he'll be back by then. That's, in what?
Against Georgia?
Against Georgia, Mississippi State, Arkansas, middle of the season. But these are two, like, very, very crucial players. And I think for Boo, I really quickly, never really gave my 2 cents on it. I think the fact that he's going to play everywhere, like on defense, on offense, and be like the punt returner, like that enough gives me like a 3.5, 4 points, because I don't know how good he's going to be at wide receiver, right? But like Jeremy, you said, even if he doesn't score touchdowns and he's just like a chain mover, that still factors into a touchdown drive, right? Like, if there's a 3rd and 7 on our 25-yard line and he moves the sticks, and then later in that drive, right, he catches another first down on like a 2nd and 4 and he goes for 11 yards. Right there, he gets you like 20 yards on a drive and they score a touchdown because of it. A lot of that is because of Boo Carter making plays, right? So I think you have that aspect. How good he is defensively is another thing. Like, if he's really good defensively and that's where he excels, I don't see like guys having a 3-point swing on the defensive end because I feel like that's pretty hard. There are plays that you can make on it, but the fact too that he's a punt returner, that he had 1 punt return touchdown last year against A&M, and then he also had a lot of really, really good long runs. I mean, field position and 3rd down catches, right? It all adds up, and it's a winning formula. And I think Boo Carter, just what he's able to do, he's so versatile. That alone, I feel like, could give you like a field goal swing in a game because of the plays that he makes as a punt returner, on the back end of the defense, and as like a slot outside wide receiver type guy.
I see where you're coming from here. My only pushback is, if a guy like Patrick Mahomes, the best player in the NFL, is worth 4 points. Is Boo Carter worth that as well?
Well, my thing is I think Mahomes is worth more than 4 points. Like I remember when they were without him, they played, I think, like the Packers, like 3.
So you're more so looking at what from a bettor's analysis, not what a book would put down.
Yeah. Like I think Mahomes is worth like a touchdown. Like that's like he's a touchdown, if not a 2 touchdown player. Like you see how bad certain teams in the NFL are when they don't have their quarterback. Like the Ravens are a prime example. The Chiefs, like 3 or 4 years ago when they were out, when they didn't have Mahomes for 4 games, I think they went like 2-2, right? But like they're just such a well-coached team that you can make up for it on other sides. But like I think a better comparison is a guy like Kyle Hamilton, right? Like a top safety in the NFL. If he doesn't play, like that spread probably just goes down like a point.
Or if that, maybe a half point.
Maybe
really.
a half point, exactly. But I think Boo Carter's worth a touchdown because he
You think Boo Carter's worth a touchdown?
Not a touchdown, excuse me, like a field goal, because he plays everywhere. He can impact the game on every level possible. Now, my thing is, will he impact the game in a positive way, or will he be a liability somewhere? Because if he's a liability, like as a punt returner and he's like muffing a punt, then that costs you. But I'm saying this as like a Boo, like my argument stems from Boo just like being good everywhere. Like that's my prediction for him. That's what I anticipate Boo to provide. Just be a really good punt returner, a better safety in the SEC, and a wide receiver that can make plays for you in a limited sample size. If he does all 3 of those things, yeah, I definitely think he's worth a field goal.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, my thing I want to at least if you could expand upon your point about field position, I think is correct. Now, my thing is with McCoy and possibly Boo being out. Yes, Syracuse may not have the players to just actually make this a game against UT, but what I'm coming at is that when you have 2 solid tacklers, I think with Boo Carter and with McCoy. Now, you're talking about McCoy, who is probably one of the best man coverage corners in the nation. And I'm not quite sure how this other corner plays, if he's good in man coverage or not. But being able to play man coverage tight that's a huge plus for any defense, for any defensive coordinator, because that affects how you call the game.
Yeah.
So with that, that's where I'm coming at as from how field position. I thought that was a good point. How field position can be flipped. And so now you're talking about time of possession now coming in, because now they're able to extend drives, because if McCoy's not out there and whoever is replacing him, let's say that they don't take the correct angle, they miss a tackle, or now a 5 yard slant that should have been stopped at 7 yards is now being stopped at 15. So it's just little things like that, to where when you don't have your guy in, it's little things like that that can just add up that will end up affecting the line or the spread per se.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my thinking is with it. Tennessee should definitely win this thing easily, but I'm trying to tell you, it's just little things like that, like you said, a 2nd and 7 that should be stopped and become maybe 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Now that's a first down, and now that's first down from your own 45, and instead of going, it just continues to add up. And so where Tennessee should have maybe a 17-point lead come first quarter, now it's only 8, 9, so it's just things like that I think that can affect it.
Good stuff all the way around. When we come back, it's our best bets of the night. Stay right here. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox, Fox Sports Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Is your smile ready for the spotlight? Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilco, and at Knoxville Smiles, we make every visit a reason to smile. From routine cleanings to dazzling cosmetic treatments, our experienced team uses the latest technology to keep your teeth healthy and your smile bright. With a warm, welcoming atmosphere and personalized care, we're here to make sure you leave feeling your best. Don't wait. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Book your appointment today at 865-539-1776 or online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Ready to launch your career? Axel Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axel proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axel, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axel Logistics is the place to start your career.
Believe in family. Believe in your fellow man. Believe in honesty and an honest day's work. We do. We're Farm Bureau Insurance. And we don't just believe in Tennessee. We believe in Tennesseans. Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance for Tennesseans. Believe in me for all of your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Hey, this is your boy, Thomas Miles, nephew Tommy. Fellas, let's get real for a second. Erectile dysfunction isn't just physical. It can mess with your head, your confidence, and even your relationship. But guess what? There is hope. Men's Pro Knoxville has helped men right here in our community get their confidence back. They got a team of licensed medical providers who find a way to get results. Powerful, lesser-known treatments for mild to moderate ED could have you performing like you haven't in years, or helping you stay performing. And listen, pills don't work for everybody. Maybe they stop working or the side effects weren't worth it. Men's Pro Knoxville builds a plan around you. Your consultation is just $99. That includes your blood work, medical consult, and if advised, a test dose. Results? They got an in-house lab. So you'll know where you stand in minutes, not days. So let me ask you, when was the last time you couldn't perform? And how did that make you feel?
Appreciate you hanging out with us on this fine Tyler Tuesday from Knoxville, Tennessee. Real quick, best bets of the night for Max. It's Royals money line. Arizona, Detroit over 8.5, and Angels first 5 minus a half point in the first 5 innings. And then for Tyler, real quick,
I got Mike Soroka over 16.5 pitching outs at -130. Soroka's facing the Astros, who struggle against right-handed pitching. I like the line here for Soroka, pitcher for the Nationals.
All right, and we'll head to the phones real quick. We rarely go to the phones here on the Slate. We got a special caller calling in. It's Patrick on the line. Patrick, what's up? Can Patrick hear us? There we go. Patrick, there we go.
What do you say, WP and crew?
What up? How are you?
I am doing great. It's been a while.
It has.
I think your staff or interns were taking one of those notorious intern French foreign studies, studying abroad,
yes,
taking a smoke break during class,
yes,
smoke break, and not answering the phone.
Come on, Tyler.
Hey, man, you know, I'm still learning over here, Patrick. Cut me some slack. I just got taught how to take phone calls, so hopefully William, he'll let us do a couple more, man.
Tyler, I'm just busting your chops a little bit. I always take shots. I always take shots. I try to mix some humor with my calls. Wait until we hit about October. You will hear the oh.
That's one of his best. He does a very good impression of that. Who's getting coal this year? Is Boo Carter getting coal?
So Boo hoo hoo is in the doghouse. I just listen. Hey, I'm not going to run the kid down. He's having whatever issues he's having. I think it's hilariously frustrating that all the social media boards are taking swipes at every other media member. Oh, you broke it. You're just running the program down. You're just, wait a minute. There was truth. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But here's the problem. That if Tennessee's recruiting was stronger, if we had more playmakers, especially on offense, this would not be the issue that it would be. For what has apparently gone on, and no one's really disputing that one player has been absent from. These are not voluntary workouts. Josh Heupel said today these are mandatory workouts.
Yeah.
I hope it works out for the kid. I was hoping to see him on offense because he is an incredibly electric playmaker with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
But I think that, we're talking about what it does to the lines if he's on the field. And, I mean, Jermod McCoy is not going to be on the field probably at best mid-year, right? Are we?
Well, it's been weird trying to get a grasp of that timeline. Originally, we, back in January or February, we're told it'd be back around kickoff, but it doesn't seem it's going to be the kickoff of the season. It might be kickoff by the Mississippi State game, Patrick.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, the guy, he blew out his knee, and on the best of circumstances, you don't make it back from that.
Yeah.
That quickly, especially with the level of these guys are playing at. But the question is, who's going to be the DBs? I mean, who's going to play corner? I know. So I heard a caller call in today to one show. The young man from Colorado.
Yeah, Colton Hood. Colton Hood.
Colton Hood has seen a lot of playing time, but all leagues are not created equal.
Yeah.
And maybe he's a find. I hope he is, because Tennessee needs that. But I heard all of Heupel today. Was there, and I didn't hear any of the players. And I'm going to try to listen to what they had to say. Was there anything of import that was said, other than the common, toe the company line, everything's great. We love our new quarterback.
Yeah, well, we're going to do a deeper dive into that here on the other side with overtime. But okay. There were a couple interesting comments here and there. I mean, a lot of it is coach speak. A lot of it's PR. It's a, Tennessee run media day. They're not going to say much that's going to make everyone jump off the page. But I will say the leadership, I think, was one of the biggest things talked about today. And that is a positive, in my opinion, because you lacked leadership last year with your former quarterback. And it has been a big talk over the last couple of weeks. Leadership council was mentioned a lot today. Apparently there's a leadership council. I guess Heupel is referring to that as the captains of the team, but they were very involved in this Boo Carter situation. And leadership, I think, was one of the big takeaways from all of the guys that talked. Lance Hurd said that Jake Merklinger is a really good leader, and that you would think he's been here for 4 to 5 years with the way he commands the offense and commands those around him. So some positive things, not much hard-hitting stuff, but it's kind of what you come to expect from a team doing their own media days with their people and their type of questions. But Patrick, I do hope you stay and listen to the start of overtime. We'll answer a lot of those questions. We're up against the clock right now, but always good to hear from you. Hope you call back, and Tyler will quit taking those smoke breaks, and we'll be able to answer your call.
I will. Thank you.
All right, good stuff. That's going to wrap it up for a Tuesday edition of the Slate presented by VIP Play. Join us on the other side for overtime right here on Fan Run Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookies.
Citizens National Bank.
There are always memories to be made with family and friends, and we want you to share your memories with us. Share your best photos depicting your memorable experiences throughout the year, and your photo could be chosen to be in our 2019 Memories calendar. Simply upload your photo to